Now I'm going to show you how to do a flat weave on a round disc. It's quite simple. We'll do a chevron to start with because again you can change around the configuration of your thread to get a different pattern. So the first thing we will do is I've got my 8 threads, which are actually 4 threads because I've just put them in half because I've got 2 colours, but each length is 50 centimetres or 20 inches, and of course double they're a metre each, so or 40 inches. And I've tied on the end here my little weight, and I've just tied a thread at the bottom. Now to do the chevron, basically what I'm going to do is I've got 2 light threads and 2 dark threads, and the first time you do this braid, because it's not difficult, but you have to use your brain a little bit. I like to do it in 2 different colours and good contrasting colours so I don't get myself confused. So I'm just going to put the 2 dark colours to the sides, and don't worry about the tension at the moment, we'll fix that up later. And then I'm going to have a light one at the top and a light one at the bottom. And see, now I can get the cords so that they're sitting nicely and that my tension's nice. And now I'm ready to begin. Okay, now there are 3 separate moves to this. We're not going to be turning the disc, so it's a little bit different to the round weave in that respect. So, and I like to use my left and my right hands so that I don't forget the sequence, because if you do forget the sequence, unfortunately you will have to start again, which isn't fun. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm taking my left hand and I'm going to be picking up this right hand bottom thread, and I'm going to take it up, across and over, and place it above these 2 side dark threads. Then I'm going to change hands, and if you notice I keep my thumb in the middle. That's why I like these small discs, because I can keep my thumb in the middle. It helps with the tension. Take my right hand and I'll pick up the remaining bottom thread, and I'm going to take it across and above the 2 on this side, so that we now have no threads at the bottom. You see the tension's a bit loose now because of this. So now I'm going to take my left hand, and of course you can choose whichever way you want to do, but I'm picking up this right side thread and I'm taking it across all the threads and putting it down the bottom on this other side. Then I'm going to take the remaining thread and bring it across and down to the bottom on this other side. Then I can fix up my tension a little bit. So that's the first movement. The second set of movements is we're going to bring these 2 central ones up and around. Now these ones don't cross over, so you can see here in the middle how this is, you can see they're both crossed. You can see 2 crosses there quite easily. Now these ones we're not crossing, so you can do one side at a time if you like. This one from the bottom goes up to the top. This one from here goes down to the bottom, so that I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'll change hands, and this one here from the bottom goes to the top, and this one goes down to the bottom. You see we're almost back where we started. So the third and final thing we need to do is to get back exactly where we started and bring these 2 threads back either side of your center dot, so that although our colors have changed, our configuration is exactly the same. So then we start again. So the first sequence was left hand, right thread, up and across, up to the top. Right hand, remaining thread, up and across and to the top. Left hand, right thread over this side, across and down, and then the other one across and down. So that's, then you can tighten up your tension a bit. Then, so that was part 1. Part 2 is the 2 middle ones, bottom one up, side, top one down, and then again bottom one up, side one down, and then we just need to reposition, and that's part 3. And you can see our thread colours are back exactly where they started, so that we've got the 2 grey and the 2 purple. So we've done 2 complete rotations. So I'll show you again one more time. So left hand, so part 1, left hand, this right bottom thread across to the top of these 2, change hands, right hand, and takes this one over to the right above these 2. Change hands, this one from the right hand side goes across and down under here, and then across and down under. So that's part 1. Part 2, this one up, the top one of the 2 down, this one up, these 2 down, and then reposition these 2 so that we're right back to our cross position, ready to start again. I've come to the end of my braid and I'm happy with the length of it, and it's time to take it off the disc. So the way I'm going to do it, I mean, if you want, you can always just glue the middle, but I rather like to tie a few knots. So I just take one at a time, and I'll tie these 2 knots together here, and I'm just doing a double overhand knot, 1, 2, and bring it in. This will probably get cut off at the end anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. And then these 2 here. By doing it one at a time, it just gives you a bit more control, I think. So go through once, go through twice, and then pull it up nice and tight. The great thing about this thread is so durable. All the time and trouble it takes you to make one of these, it's going to last you a really long time. Okay, you can wear these as an anklet and wear them in the shower to the beach, and they'll still last for months and months and months. It's amazing. Okay, one on that side, and then finally my last one here, just on this side. So that way all my ends are tied off nicely. I mean, you don't have to do that. You can just do one big knot in the middle if you don't want it, but I like to just be a little bit more thorough. Okay, so now I've got all my ends there, and what I'm going to do is, because I'll trim this off later on, is I'm going to attach my clasps. So I'll be gluing this end and trimming this end. This end, I've already taken off the cord where we started, and all I have to do, the other thing you can do too, is just give you a little weave a stretch. Just relax it back out again. I've got my F6000. I like this glue because it's rubber based, so it doesn't, I'm just going to put a little splodge of it here on a bit of paper and put the lid on so it doesn't dry out on me. And I like it because it's rubber based. It doesn't get on your fingers, and you don't have to worry too much about it at all if it doesn't stick your fingers together. So, and it adheres metal to metal. Now I've got my end cap, and I'm just going to, which is a ribbon end, I'm just going to put it right into the end, right into the middle. I've got time to reposition it so that it's right there, and then I'll just come in with a pair of pliers, and I'm just going to give that a squash in place. Behave yourself. You can start off with your fingers if you like, and then come in with your pliers and just give it a good squeeze. See the teeth grab hold of it there. Once that glue dries, that'll never ever come off. Then I've just got a little jump ring, which I'll open, thread it on, thread on my clasp, and then I'll just close my jump ring. And then I'm just going to do the other end the same way. So I'm just going to glue the ends of this and just wait for it to dry because I'm feeling a little lazy today. What you can do is give it a little stitch, which is a nice way to do it as well. But I'm just going to wait for the glue to dry, and then I'm going to chop off the end and then just attach it the same way that I've done at this end. Okay, now my glue's tacky dry, so I can comfortably cut off the knots now, and my thread won't unravel. So just straight off with the knots, and just a bit of glue on some scrap, and then just liberally paint the end. So we'll just pop that in there now, but you have 10 minutes manoeuvrable time, so if you don't get it sitting in there correctly, you can manoeuvre it. And then all that's left to do now is to open my jump ring, pop it on, and we're finished.